if you're getting pressure on quarterbacks, they tend to make bad throws.
Yep.
Or tougher throws. Rosie?
We have some Giants news.
Is it good news or bad news?
It is good news.
Oh, excellent.
The Giants are signing free agent Najee Harris to a 1-year deal, per Ian Rappaport and Mike Garofalo.
Yeah, this felt inevitable yesterday after we saw Turbo Miller being released, Dante Miller, because of an injury. I mean, he played in the game, so maybe he must have got hurt in the game, and he just wasn't part of the plan. But Najee Harris, who had his 4 straight in Pittsburgh 1,000-yard seasons, he's a good runner.
Yeah, until last year where he tore his Achilles with the Chargers.
He's a dynamic type player and can get tough yardage for you. So I'm not surprised by that at all, especially seeing the injury release of Dante Miller.
So the key is Turbo Miller is the reason they signed him, not to send a message to Tyrone Tracy like we speculated about briefly yesterday.
Like you speculated.
I speculated. Okay,
Tyrone
it was
Tracy
me.
He had a mind fart. He had a bad one that got his quarterback hit, and Jaxson Dart had to go in the blue tent. Jameis Winston had to come in for a play, but Jaxson Dart came right back and obviously threw the touchdown pass. And so if you can get better, you have to get better. Like you'll see this. And I was just looking at some of the positions that are still available in free agency because I just saw it just popped up on the bottom of the ticker. Keenan Allen.
Yep, signed with the Colts.
Just signed with the Colts. And I think about the John, like, man, Keenan Allen had a pretty good last couple of years. Why was he not in that conversation with the Giants? The Giants have 14 wide receivers. Why not bring in a guy who's a veteran who was elite on third downs last year into your rotation? It was probably the number because I think he signed for close to $10 million, or maybe it was $8-something million. So, but the point is, every team is doing this right now. They're looking at the crop of guys that are available that are still on the market right now, and they're looking at is the guy that's available better than the guy I have? And I think all teams need to be doing that, especially teams that are trying to get better.
What's interesting is the timing yesterday was odd.
Yeah.
Like the timing of let's bring in this former Pro Bowler the day after or 2 days after Tyrone Tracy missed the block that potentially would have led to an injury. But when you look closer at it, Tyrone Tracy's not a bad blocker.
No,
it's not like he's an unwilling blocker.
Again, it was a slip.
It was a slip, and also, let's just be fair. No offense to Cam Scatterbo and Devin Singletary and everybody else in that room. If I was making the Giants depth chart, just me, I'm not John Harbaugh, me, Tyrone Tracy's number 1 on the depth chart. I put him ahead of Cam Scatterbo. Cam Scatterbo, God bless his soul, is all hype. Let's be honest. Tyrone Tracy's done more.
Yeah, he played 6 games last year.
Exactly. Like Tyrone Tracy has actually been a solid, suitable, growing NFL player, so it wouldn't have made sense to say, oh, I'm going to cut Tyrone Tracy. Like, you're going to cut that guy who's number 1 on your depth chart? That wouldn't make any sense.
No.
But listening to John Harbaugh,
he was never going to get cut.
Listening to him yesterday, it sounds like it's going to take time with Najee Harris as well. That this recovery isn't going to have him ready for the start of the season.
I just want to expound on what Ian Rappaport did. The former Steelers first-rounder who spent last season with the Chargers will provide veteran, valuable help to the Giants' backfield. Very good pass protecting running back too, is what Rap Sheet said. So I don't know if he's just trying to hint something. That
but that's one of his skill sets.
It's also just a fact.
Yeah.
Right. Just who he is.
Yeah.
But I think Giants fans are thinking because of the failed pass protection from the mind fart.
I get it. I thought the same thing yesterday, too.
I just think it's interesting that Rap Sheet included that as the last line.
I totally get it. Like, when you think about the timing of it, it's worth bringing up. It's why I brought it up yesterday. I'm just also explaining, as an IFO, if I was depth charting the New York Giants, Tyrone Tracy's number 1 on the depth chart. He's not some bum I'm cutting in 5 minutes. No offense. So I'm just figuring it out in real time with everybody else. But also, Najee Harris is recovering from a major injury.
Yeah, the other option that was out there was Joe Mixon. He's 30 years old, so he's not old, but he's not young either. But he didn't play at all last season because he had a foot injury, missed the entire year last year. But he's still on the market.
Well, and also keep this in mind about the Giants' pursuit of a running back. And we had a lot of fun busting Sean's balls during the year about Jeremiah Love and how they could draft him. The Giants had an interest in drafting Jeremiah Love. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. They also clearly had an interest in drafting the former Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker. They didn't sign him. They had interest at the top of the free agent running back market, and they didn't add anybody. So clearly, they told us they had an interest in adding to the running back room.
Well, I think it's just their philosophy. I saw Joe Shane the other day, and it's like, you think about the philosophy that this team, from a personnel standpoint, is having. It's we have to get better. Like, we have to have depth. And we saw it this offseason where they needed wide receivers. They loaded up on wide receivers.
Right.
They needed defensive linemen to not replace, because you can't replace Dexter Lawrence, but to fill that gap. And they signed a ton of defensive linemen. It's no different with the running back position, simply because Tyrone Tracy's had an injury history, not a devastating one. Cam Scatteraboo broke an ankle last year. So you need depth in these spots just in case you have to go to a oh crap moment. You have a veteran or someone who is viable in that room. And so we've seen it all offseason. I'm not surprised by this at all.
Especially after he met with them yesterday, and then you think back to the connection that Najee Harris had with Jim Harbaugh. It all makes sense. Let's go to Mark in Oceanside. What's up, Mark?
Gentlemen, how are you
All's
today?
good.
Okay. I couldn't disagree with you more on the Jets not tanking. I am thinking they tank. Why? I was alive before you guys, and I saw the only young quality quarterback we ever had. That was Joe Namath. Since that time, name me the one guy who could take a team to a Super Bowl. Sam Darnold, I know it's Seattle, but he had a great team with him. I want a young stud quarterback.
I get it.
The only guarantee I have, or closer to a guarantee, I should say, is if I'm at the top of the draft. Let's say the Jets pick 10th, 14th, and 23rd. There is no guarantee there'll be a quarterback available, and no guarantee that 3 or 4 teams in front of them will trade out of those spots because they need a quarterback. I'm so tired of the Geno Smiths and the Zach Wilsons and every other third-rate quarterback. And I'm not knocking Geno. He's an adequate pro quarterback. I want a young stud. I want to go and be excited.
I agree with you, but I'm going to give you some information real quick. And again, you decide what you want to do with it. I'm going to give you a very quick, unofficial Evan Roberts quarterback ranking. These are the quarterbacks right now in the NFL. Don't get crazy about the rankings. That's not the point. It's where they were drafted. I'm going to put that with it. Patrick Mahomes, 10th overall. Josh Allen, 7th overall. Joe Burrow, 1st overall. Lamar Jackson, 32nd overall. Justin Herbert, 6th overall. Drake May, 3rd overall. Matthew Stafford, yes, 1st overall. Jalen Hurts, 53rd overall. Dak Prescott, 135th overall. The point is, well, yes, picking number 1 is nice. You can find that franchise quarterback early in the first round. They've got 3 first-round picks. I'm not prioritizing the possibility that if I tank enough, I pick number 1, and the possibility that I get a quarterback versus winning and then using the assets I have to pick number 10, the same slot Patrick Mahomes went, or number 7, the same spot Josh Allen went. Like, this list, while it does feature a lot of number 1 overalls, it is not dominated by number 1 overalls. So I cannot go into a season saying I've got to be number 1 overall.
Right. And it's unlikely that you're going to be, because there's other teams that just are going to be maybe worse that also need quarterbacks.
Vinny in Orange County. Hey, Vinny.
Hi, I hate to go back to something you guys spoke about, but Max Fried, I have a different take on this.
Go.
They know it's not going to take him an enormous amount of time to get back once it feels better. So even if they put him in once every 6th or miss a start in the rotation over and over till the end of the year, and he can be there for the playoffs and the run, this is not going to be a long time.
If the way you frame it was what they were doing, I'd say fine.
Right.
They framed it with a press release that said he has the same injury that kept him out for 2 months.
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot of other details, and we won't know those until Aaron Boone addresses the media. It'll obviously be it should be the first question that's asked, obviously, but we'll get more clarity as the day goes on what this actually means for Max Fried and for the Yankees rotation, because you're going to need him. You're going to need his elite level of pitching come the postseason. So even if it's just precautionary, it's worth it.
What scares me is it's the same injury that kept him out 2 months. And Aaron Boone's going to have to answer a lot of questions to make me or anyone else feel better about that aspect of it. John on Long Island. What's up, John?
Hey, John.
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
All's well.
Good.
Good, man. I really enjoy your show. I wanted to just talk about the Jets real quick, and I know a couple of people are making this point. Obviously, I'm a diehard Jets fan, and it's kind of ridiculous to hear all these people who aren't Jets fans oh, well, the best thing is to tank. First of all, they are not going to just go into a season and tank, especially with a coach that's on the hot seat to begin with.
No team starts a season that way. There's not one. Even the bad teams don't start seasons that way.
Right, unless you're a losing organization. I mean, the Jets are, but they're not. I don't think they're intentionally trying to tank. The point is that the reason that they traded Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams last year was to put themselves in this exact position. So even if, let's say, they're average or they do win 6 or 7 games, which everybody's afraid of, they still have 2 first-round picks.
3.
What about the Colts? Daniel Jones, 3 first-round picks, right? 2 including their own. What if Daniel Jones is not really that healthy coming off the Achilles?
I agree.
Right? What if the Packers are terrible and start terrible without Parsons? Look at their record and look at their numbers without Parsons. What if Dallas just completely does what they do? My point is that anybody who's freaking out and saying, oh, they need to lose, they need to tank, you can't say that, because that's the whole reason that you traded 2 of your best players last year, was to put you in the position to go ahead and try to move up in the draft. And everybody's going to say, well, they're not going to get the top quarterback. Look at the quarterbacks that are coming out of this draft. Everybody go look at them.
Yeah. No, you're right. It appears, now we're still far out and things can change when football's played in the college world on Saturdays, but they are in a position where they don't have to tank and can still end up with a top pick.
Yeah.
And that's a part of my Sundays.
And a potentially good quarterback.
No doubt. A part of my Sundays, and I admit it, it's getting one of the big TVs, is Colts games. Mm-hmm. I am basically a diehard Colt hater. I'm going to watch every game. I'm going to root against them. And this is healthy. It actually made me come up with that idea I threw to you 4 months ago, which was this is the way the NBA and the NFL should cure tanking. You don't get your own pick, you get a division rival's pick. And therefore, you'll sit there rooting against your division rival all of the time. Last night, after the New York Mets had their successful victory, and I did a Rico Brogna, I went into the lab room, and I watched all the tape on Jaxson Dart and his blue tent visits. And Tiki and I unanimously agree with who is to blame for why Jaxson Dart continuously gets called to the blue tent. And I admit, what I said yesterday, completely wrong.